In the age of AI, you've probably heard it a million times. Learn new skills, right? But what if the best strategy isn't about running faster in the same race? What if it's about finding a whole different race to win? Today, we're going to dig into a mindset shift that might just be crucial for navigating this new world of artificial superintelligence.
This quote. This is what really sets the stage for our entire discussion. It comes from a really personal place, a reflection on what strength even means. Instead of constantly fighting to prove yourself on someone else's terms, what if you just chose a different game, a different lane? It's a simple idea, but it's the foundation for everything we're about to unpack.
So where does this idea even come from? Well, it's actually rooted in a pretty personal story. It's about a 56-year-old man who calls himself a young senior, and he noticed that people just assumed he wasn't as strong as he used to be, physically or mentally. But instead of trying to fight that head-on, he chose a totally different path. And this slide just lays it out so clearly, right? On one side, you have the train harder path. That's the brute force approach, trying to meet those expectations directly. But on the other side, you've got choose another lane, which is way more of a strategic pivot. Instead of grinding it out to prove his physical stamina, he decides to focus on something else entirely, his mental flexibility. See, it's not about admitting weakness. It's about changing the rules of the game to compete on your own terms.
Okay, so let's take that personal story and scale it up. Let's apply this to the professional world, because that same exact choice, train harder or choose another lane, is pretty much what we're all facing with the incredible rise of AI. And this is the question that I think is on everyone's mind right now. When AI can do so many of the things we used to consider valuable skills, what does it even mean to be strong or relevant anymore? The old definitions just don't seem to fit. So here's the big reframe. The source we're looking at proposes a totally new definition of strength. It's not about being the best coder or the fastest data analyst. It's about being authentic, being true to yourself. It's about leveraging that unique mix of experiences and perspectives that only you have. So when you boil it all down, success in the AI age isn't just about cramming more technical skills into your brain. It's really a strategic adjustment. It's about learning to use AI as a powerful tool to help you carve out and really deepen a niche that is uniquely, authentically yours. All right, so if being authentic is our North Star, what's the vehicle that gets us there? What's our superpower in this new era? Well, the idea here is that it's mental flexibility, or you could call it mental agility. This is the skill that lets you pivot, combine ideas in new ways, and find that unique lane that we've been talking about.
To really get a feel for this, let's look at two totally different ways of thinking. You've got software development, which was often very convergent. It's logical, it's linear, and it's all about finding that one best solution. And then you have something like coaching, which is the total opposite. It's divergent. It's about expanding options, exploring all kinds of possibilities. That divergent skill, that's the core of mental agility.
I know, diverging practice sounds a little abstract, right? But it's not. It really just boils down to a few key actions. It's about making time for real reflection. It's about intentionally sparking creativity. And it's about evocation. You know, that act of bringing ideas or feelings up from your subconscious into the light. These are the real building blocks of mental flexibility. Okay, so why does this matter? What's the big payoff? Well, this kind of mental agility, it gives you permission to play, to venture into uncharted territory. It lets you ask these really interesting questions like, hey, could I use AI as a tool for reflection, not just for conversation? And then you actually have the confidence to go explore the answer. That is the engine of innovation.
Okay, so we've got the mindset, authenticity. We've got the superpower, mental agility. Now, let's talk brass tacks. How do we actually use this stuff to build a career that can really stand up to the massive changes AI is bringing?
The end game here is to build what the source calls a defensible niche. And that's such a key phrase. It's a professional position that is really, really hard for anyone or any AI to just copy because it's built from your unique, one-of-a-kind blend of skills, experiences, and your point of view.
Let me give you a really concrete example. Think about it this way. Plenty of people know software development, and plenty of people know coaching. But a person who has deep experience in both, well, they can create an incredibly powerful niche, like applying AI to the world of coaching. That's something that's really hard to replicate. Your unique history, your story, it becomes your biggest advantage. And it's easy to feel like this is all brand new and overwhelming, but we've seen this movie before, haven't we? Just think about the huge shift from physical stores to online shopping. The people who really thrived weren't the ones who just dug in their heels or tried to do the old thing harder. They were the ones who adapted, who found new lanes. That experience is priceless preparation for what we're all going through right now.
All right, this leads us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, actually thriving when you have no idea what's coming next. How do we stay agile when the ground is literally shifting beneath our feet? It really comes down to mastering one core habit.
And here it is, the one habit that underpins everything else. The ability to hold multiple, even contradictory perspectives at the exact same time without rushing to decide which one is right. It's about being able to see the massive opportunities and the serious risks, the hype and the reality, all at once.
And the payoff for developing this mindset? It's huge. I mean, first off, your productivity can improve way faster because you're open to new tools, but you're also grounded in what they can and can't do right now. You avoid those dangerous blind spots of tech utopia thinking. And maybe most importantly, you start to find real value in not having to pick a side. You get to be an explorer, an integrator, not just a defender of one single point of view.
And this quote, man, it just wraps everything up so perfectly. If you're clinging with a white-knuckled grip to everything you already know, there's just no room to embrace what's next. True strength in this new world is the flexibility to let go, to adapt, and to create something new.
So it all comes down to this. Instead of just training harder, maybe we need to find a new lane. Redefine our strength, not as capability, but as authenticity. And work on our mental agility so we can build a niche that's truly ours. And that brings us to a final, much deeper question. As AI's abilities grow and grow, what does that leave for us? If it can simulate more than just thinking, what are we? Maybe the answer is somewhere in that unique lane we're each meant to find.